When we're trying to build muscles or build strength, if we're looking at like accessory movements, cable movements, banded movements, we're trying to build tension at the joint and muscle that we want to. Would you all agree with that? Okay. So when you're looking at someone, I want you to look at where the joint is moving from. So like the elbow, the tricep moves at the elbow, and this is the muscle that's being pushed and pulled on, right? If you're doing tricep extensions, okay? So when I'm trying to do that, when the muscle is fully bent, and I'll stand from the camera closely to do this, when I'm trying to put tension on my tricep, I need this part of my arm to be tangent or crossed with the line of pull, right, at the lengthened position. So lengthened, when my tricep is fully stretched, my forearm can't come down anymore, this muscle is being pulled on via this joint. Would you guys see that? If I'm doing a tricep extension, I have a lot of tension on my tricep here, and if I push up, I lock my tricep out. You can see now it's fully lengthened, it's shortened, okay? If I come back like this and stop here, is my tricep fully lengthened in this position? No, because this joint angle has not closed deep enough. So when you're doing exercises and looking like, what's my full range of motion, the easiest way to think about this is literally just take your own joint and close it. And be like, okay, this is a collapsed position of this joint. That means this is fully lengthened. Not always, because some joints cross two parts and need to be pulled on a little bit differently. If you look at my triceps here, are my triceps fully closed, and is the line of tension, which is this cable, pulling on my tricep tangent to where the joint is, which is right here? Where is it pulling?
It's, yeah, or like pecs?
My lats. So the thing that's actually getting a big stretch here is my lats, and my triceps are not even, they're like 80 degrees, 90 degrees maybe. And when I do this, I can lengthen them, but anything past that is just pulling on my lats here, and now this is what's being stretched because there is no tension. But if you look at this joint and this line of pull, this is now tangent to this line of pull. And tangent just means, it's actually this is tangent. So this is the lever bar, this is tangent to that. So my lats being here at this like 180 degree angle, something needs to be pulling directly away from it, like that, which is what's happening. The cable's trying to pull back. This way I get a big stretch, but nothing on my triceps, okay? If I want to get a big stretch on my triceps, does this now look like it's putting a much bigger stretch on my tricep? The line is pulling down towards my butt, and if I get even closer, this is now pulling straight down my back, and the cable is pulling down. The joint is far away, but it's now tangent to where it's pulling. Does that make sense of where it's tangent? It's here and there. Oh, that feels weird. Okay, so if I'm here and I bring my elbows forward, it's even more of a stretch. And then if I push straight up, I don't have as much tension, and we don't have to worry about that right now. But I get I can flex the muscle here, and then on the way down, I can get a huge amount of pressure on my tricep, even if you pull back a little bit. But here, I can get a lot of pressure on my tricep. I don't have to use as much weight, and I can get access from my shoulder and my elbow and the muscle itself to get a very full range of motion and pull. You don't have to do that for everyone. Some people don't have the shoulder mobility to do that, so you can mess with how deep that stretch goes. But we just don't, when the cable's up top, we just don't get any stretch on the muscle when it's pulling straight back. Similarly with a tricep push down, I'll go this way. If I'm here, do I have any stretch on my tricep at all? And I can just kind of, right? It's light. But if I go here and tuck my elbows back, do you see the tangent now? So this is the joint. This is a lever, and then this is the muscle being stretched. If I go like this, I'm still at a 90. But if I tuck this up and there's weight on it, I can collapse my triceps pretty aggressively and push all the way through. And then if I bring my elbows back, then I can get a much bigger stretch on my tricep, which is just this angle closing off and pushing the joint away from the line. Curls are the same. We want to stretch here. So if you just lean back away and place your triceps on your chest, now the cable's pulling down, and I get a big stretch here, and I can pull. You can do it with dumbbells too. I can get a much bigger stretch here than here. There's just no stretch on the muscle. It's just gravity hanging down. Cable pull-throughs is what I did that with, and pal-offs. We want the cable in line with the joint because there's different lever types. For a cable pull-through, if I bring this really, really low and I do a cable pull-through, the tension is now pulling me down and not back. It's trying to pull me into the floor. So when you do cable pull-throughs, you just want it hip height because this is where the hinge takes place. When I get into a full hinge, I want it pulling me directly back in a straight line away from it so that I stretch through its tangent to where this joint closes. And then as I pull back, it's pulling me deeper into the stretch. But if it starts to pull down, it is both pulling me down and pulling me back. So there's two forces at play, and I need it in one position. I want to bring all those lines into one, which is directly against it. Pal-off presses are the same. If I'm too high up on a pal-off press, I can use my pec to abduct and then my shoulder to adduct away and just put all the tension across here. I normally tell people put your thumbs in your belly button and push straight out and tuck in like you're doing a plank or a hollow body, and it will move that line of pull so the band should come across. I normally say if their arms are hanging down, just look at their elbows and put the cable or band at their elbow or maybe below so that when it's pulling, it's trying to pull across this line and not pull across this line. Because this, I can just, I mean, you'll see people go like this, and if you look at the inside shoulder, you'll watch them adduct with their bicep or their pec and just hold it here. And then they're just squeezing their chest and there's nothing going on. You ask if they're core, you say drop it down, flex down, and now this is trying to pull your obliques over and that is trying to pull across. You just don't have the good leverage with your arms to pull across anymore. Pull-throughs need to be hip height because you're trying to pull their hips back, and pal-off need to be lined up with the obliques and the trunk, not the chest and the shoulders. So I keep it elbow and below so that this is the line that's being pulled by the cable and not this.
Yeah, I would say my only add-on is like obviously it's still client specific.
Yeah.
So like, for instance, you may start off, you can think of like curls as my easiest example to your point. So like I may start off a client with a concentration curl.
Yep.
There's no tension down here. This whole point, right? It's like the same thing with a lean away delt raise. Like here to here, there's nothing that's happening.
Yeah.
But that may be exactly perfect for where they're starting.
Yeah.
So it may be perfect for them to do that tricep thing here and just to have a little bit. And then it may progress to then where we have a regular curl or an alternating curl. And then we go back into like a bench seated curl where we're leaning back, or to Ethan's point, the cable curl. It's the same, he's creating the same leverage point. So it's like, obviously just know your client, make the adjustments based on whatever you guys see as fit. But even though there's an optimal, like full range, full stretch, it may not be where they're at.
Yeah.
That's my add-on.
Yeah, absolutely. And mostly wanted to give you kind of like an understanding of where you can take them and how you can like really notch up an exercise. Because if you, like next time you do tricep overhead extensions, try them up here and then try to pull your elbows in and like put as much tension on the tricep as you can. You'll notice that you drop the weight by like 20% and your triceps feel like they're gonna pop off your body because you've now put it through its full range of motion. You get more motor unit function, higher access to the motor, higher mechanical tension on the motor or the muscles because they have to function much larger through their range of motion, higher tension on the muscle in general.